Kentucky college basketball teams continue to underachieve year over year. But one thing's for certain. Since the pandemic has ended, D&B has put on some great festivals in Kentucky. The D&B post-show stream starts now.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews games.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Kentucky, what up? Louisville, what up? Lexington, what up? Shout out to E-Town, Elizabethtown, what up? Shout out Paducah. Hopkinsville, what up? Bowling Green, what up? Shout out Churchill Downs. What up, what up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. And back at it. DMB Post Show stream here. And we're going to talk about, excuse me, we're going to talk about this show in Louisville. And if you guys are college football fans, there was a game in week 0 where they only really have a couple of games you may want to watch. But it's there to extend the college football season. But there was a matchup in Dublin, Ireland, where DMB actually played earlier this year. Not different. Obviously, they didn't play at the football stadium, but Florida State came into that game against Georgia Tech, and Florida State literally was like, hey, we went undefeated. We didn't make the college football playoff. We're trying to leave the ACC by any means necessary. And Georgia Tech went into that game. People had low expectations for them, right? This was supposed to be a game Florida State, even with people leaving from the previous season, Florida State was supposed to win that game. So Georgia Tech fans went in with low expectations. DMB fans at this point that headed to Bourbon and beyond, they were not there strictly for DMB per se. A lot of people I talked to or saw on social media were there because this lineup was incredible. Even with some last minute changes in the last couple of months, some things changed up. Nonetheless, this was a festival people were going to for the festival, not necessarily just for DMB. Yes, some people were just there for DMB, but people who I know from this fan base, they were there with low expectations for DMB and just excited to see everyone all together. Well, DMB was Georgia Tech tonight, just like Georgia Tech upset that Florida State team week 0 in Ireland. DMB came through with a huge overachieving festival set. It's a challenging thing when this band has a fan base that chases this band around, not for the same songs, but for different songs, and to get as many songs as possible. For that type of fan base that they're used to playing for, then to switch over to a festival, which is going to have a lot of DMB fans, but you're going to have a lot of casual fans, people there just to have a good time. They put on a set that had the hits. Ants Marching, Crash Into Me, The Space Between, back on the baritone, where it should be. And then the cover that changed the trajectory of D&B all along the Watchtower. These are things that typically are in a festival. But alongside them were just moments that were shocking. To have Alligator Pie come into a festival is something that most people weren't expecting. And then Lionheart Graves to not only have a guest in Derek Trucks, who to me is the Magic Johnson of guitar jam band playing, but to then have a Lionheart Graves exchange in the soloing portions between Jeff Coffin and Mr. Derek Trucks, who's been playing stages like this since he was in elementary school. Okay, maybe like middle school, high school. But still, the kid's impressive. He's a grown man now, but he has been impressive since a very young age. But that saxophone soloing or exchange, I would say an exchange. Derek and Jeff Coffin were having a conversation. That was shocking. That was surprising to me. And I don't care if there was a reprise. I don't. I think people need to get over that. Oh, they didn't reprise. Let it go. To have what Jeff Coffin did, that was spontaneous. That is something that many times this band tours so much. They've been playing for so long that spontaneous playing just isn't there as much anymore. But that moment in a festival is impressive. And we should give credit to Derek Trucks. I believe the only reason there was a sit-in, is because it was Derek Trucks. Again, he's the Magic Johnson of jam band, guitar, whatever you want to classify him as. Because he's down for whatever. Susan Tedeschi was spotted, I think, either in the kind of side stage or in the background by a Fan on the Couch tour. Many artists will check out part of a set, but then they're exhausted from their performance. But Derek Trucks was like, listen, I'm going to play my Tedeschi Trucks band set. I'm going to sit in with Black Pumas. And then I'm also going to sit in with D&B. Again, you should not expect or go just because you want a guest spot at a festival, because 99% of the time, an artist does not bring out a guest because of logistical things, as Dave did mention. But Derek Trucks is down literally for whatever. Being trained and being in a family of talented musicians and a musical heritage, he just knows how to play. And he does it like magic where he can adjust. If he needs to solo, he can do that. If he needs to play in the background, he can do that. He's been on stages with John Mayer and B.B. King and Buddy Guy in the Allman Brothers Band, which I saw at the Beacon, their final run of shows. He's played with everyone, and he's not afraid of any stage. He's not afraid of spontaneous playing, and we saw that tonight. So what I want to do is I want to reach out to Connor, who was at that show. I want to hear from him. I was watching the couch tour. If you were watching on the couch tour, some of you guys know this. Some of you guys may not know this if you're newer. Keep in mind the service was tough. So it may have sounded like the video was slowing up, speeding down. It may have sounded sometimes like the tune was modulating and out of pitch, but that was simply the service there. It was not actually how it was there. So that's why we're calling Connor to see what it was like at the show. Let's go ahead and reach out to Connor. Here, let's see. Hey, how's it going, Connor?
Dude, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. You're live on the DMB post show stream with C in the chat. What was it like to be there tonight?
I mean, the festival as a whole was just awesome. Like, just to talk on a broad term about Bourbon and Beyond as a festival, they organized the festival very well, having the Oak and the Barrel stage next to each other. You know, you walk down a little bit for the other two stages, but overall, it was all kind of one big square area. You got your food, bathrooms, water filling stations. I will say, if it was 10 degrees cooler, the day would have been perfect. But it was just a little toasty. But aside from it being super hot, absolutely, like, perfect day.
And I saw temperatures got up to near the 90s for September in Kentucky. So that's kind of something you're expecting that, you know, at a Railbird, which is in Lexington, middle of the summer, but kind of shocking that there were temps that high today. How was the sound like? So when you're set up closer to one stage, but the other stage is going, how was the crossover sound there between stages when you were kind of on the opposite side?
So like when we were kind of, just to explain about like the festival, the way it was set up, when let's say you're looking at the Oak stage, right? You're positioned at the Oak stage and a band is playing on the Barrel stage. Yeah. They're actually playing the Barrel stage's audio through the speakers of the Oak stage. So the sound all day was really clear. They had like one big mixing booth and both stages had the sound coming out of it. I will say there were some technical issues earlier, like around like the first two bands. But like once Dave and Tedeschi Trucks band were on, it was perfect.
Gotcha. And we have your picture up when you first got in there. Empty general admission area, pretty much up with a couple people. We can see the Oak and Barrel stages. Appreciate that photo and you sharing your perspective. I will say I've been to the Sound on Sound Festival. Now it's Soundside or something. And the first year they did it, when the opposite side stage would have the sound was not transferring to the speakers of the close stage. So good to hear that, at least for this festival, that wasn't the case here. And even before we get to the D&B content, how packed was the GA area?
So definitely the GA area would fill up progressively more throughout the day. For even up until like Molly Tuttle's set, which was around 2 o'clock, it was very open. Like everyone had their own space to do whatever they wanted. But the later it would go on throughout the day, the more crammed it would get. We actually moved a bit further back for the Tedeschi Trucks band and Dave Matthews band performance, where it was still more open. Just because I'm sure if we were where we were earlier in the morning, we would have just been like sardines and we couldn't have moved. So I'm sure the farther back you'd go, you'd at least have room to dance.
And I saw your post here. Your first Tedeschi Trucks Band experience? What was that like?
Hey, I'm telling everyone who's watching this stream and everyone who will watch this stream in the future, if anyone has a chance to see the Tedeschi Trucks Band, whether if it's at a festival or their own solo performance, you got to do it. They bring out the energy. They're all of them up on stage, not just Derek and Susan, but the whole band. They're all super talented musicians, and they're really good at what they do. And I'm very glad that I got to see Tedeschi Trucks Band live, because that was an amazing set that they put on. Susan's voice and Derek's guitar playing complement each other so well together.
Yeah, and I've seen them a couple of times, and I just absolutely love them. And they're so affordable. It should be a crime how inexpensive their tickets are for shows, and it's a great experience for anyone who hasn't gone. I agree, you should go. And so we get to DMB. What was the like? How did it feel as far as the crowd's knowledge of DMB or even excitement for DMB?
Definitely the people around us were excited to see the Dave Matthews Band. They were saying that we were around a few Kentucky locals, and they were saying, "Oh, we haven't seen Dave here in 15 years," which they must have skipped Railbird, because Railbird was only 3 years ago. But aside from that, they haven't seen Dave in a long time. So they were excited to see them play. And me and shout out to my buddy AJ, we seemed like we were crew members of the band, because we just kept picking songs left and right. And normally, at a normal Dave show with all the hardcores, like at Deer Creek, everyone knows all the instruments that the band members play for each song. But nobody around us knew. When I was calling out songs before they started, they were looking at me like I was Superman, like predicting what songs were going to come next. It was kind of fun, actually.
And so it's a state where you don't get many DMB shows. The last Louisville shows were at the KFC Yum Center in 2012. Remember that tour? That was the Away from the World Winter Tour. So they played there. The venue was fairly newer at the time. They're built in Louisville to replace Freedom Hall for the basketball team, at least, and then have other things. Nonetheless, they do not come there that often. So great to see that at least music fans in Kentucky did check out the set. How was the sound for DMB's set specifically?
I mean, DMB sounded pretty good. It was like with festival speakers, so it's not like they didn't have it seemed like they didn't have their normal sound system set up, but it wasn't bad by any means. Definitely sounded well. At some points of the show, the sound and the video monitors were not synced up. So the video monitors were a little bit behind of where the sound was.
Okay. And those things happen at these type of festivals. They open with Ants. What was the crowd reaction? What was your reaction to that?
I mean, for them doing that at a festival, I was absolutely shocked. I played the setlist game for once in a blue moon, and I put Ants Marching as the closer of the setlist. And for them to open with that here kind of just shocked everyone. Then right after the song was done, Dave said thank you, goodbye, and made a little joke as if he was going to leave, because he knows that he normally closes with that song. But just a fun, energetic way to start shows. And I love these high-energy openers also, They can do away with the When the World Ends openers, which was played in the second slot, ironically. And always start off the show with a bang. That makes it so much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, and another opener. Now, so you saw at Fiddlers they opened with Ants, right?
Yes.
And then also I was at the show in Guilford. One of the Guilford nights opened with Ants. So cool to see that kind of come back here. 25 times or 1.7% of the time it's opened up a set. As far as the set one opener, main set opener.
I'm surprised it's even that high, 1.7%. I am surprised it's that high.
Yeah, no, it's a rarity, and so that's a special thing there. Last time they were in a Kentucky festival, they opened with two step. That was Railbird in Lexington there post pandemic. It got pushed to August, excuse me, to August, or was in August, and I think it's earlier now. So, two great openers for two different post pandemic Kentucky shows. Let's go to Alligator Pie. What was it like to, yet again, you got it at the Gorge, now it comes to a festival?
It literally felt like I was hearing the song for the first time again. I knew right away when Dave put on that guitar. I mean, that one's an easy one to spot because that's the only one that Dave uses that guitar for. But I literally felt like it was the first time hearing Alligator Pie again, as if I didn't hear it at the Gorge 3 weeks ago. To me, I know some people don't like it, but I personally love the song. It provides great energy. It tells a story. It's really cool that they brought that song back, and to bring such a rare song to a festival in the state of Kentucky, I thought that it was flawless.
Yeah, and this is, I think that this is the resonator guitar in the heart of the bluegrass, country here. It's a great song to bring out for this specific market, like you said, Kentucky music fans, Kentuckians just coming out to see something that's fun and exciting as far as this festival. So great spot for this to come out. Um, let's get to that Lion Our Graves. What did you think of that performance?
Huh, I don't even know where to begin with that performance. My phone is really good. My camera is really good, so it can zoom up really far. That's how I was seeing what instruments the guys were going to use. And I saw the crew members bringing out Derek Trucks amp. And I was like, holy cow, this is going to be Derek Trucks. And let alone it was him. And every time that Derek Trucks plays on stage, I'm just blown away every time I've seen him. He is an absolute master and a genius when it comes to playing the guitar. And he has that Allman Brothers slide guitar style of playing, which is so cool to see him play and watching his hands and his fingers go so fast on the screen. But that performance and his solo just absolutely blew me away, like it did in MSG last fall.
Yeah, so he comes in, and then what did you think of Jeff kind of having that saxophone pop in for some of the soloing?
I've never seen that before. I thought it was really, really cool. Derek Trucks is just after the climax of the jam, he slows down, kind of plays a bit, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm not even looking at the horn side, and I just hear Jeff start playing, and he's walking out towards where Stefan is. And then for a solid minute to minute and a half, Derek and Jeff are just exchanging licks back and forth, and that was just such a cool and unique thing to witness. I've never seen that before. I would love for there to be a Jeff solo at the end of Lie in Our Graves. I think it's Buddy who normally does that to kind of slow the song down. And I think it was you who mentioned something about there not being a reprise. I thought the no reprise at the end of the song was perfect. That Jeff and Trucks jam was the perfect way to end out such a great performance.
Yes, I think that was my thought is, yeah, I'm not there, but if I was, just to have that unique experience, who cares about the reprise when you have a really, I mean, I'll have to ask some of the folks, some of my taper friends, some of the Almanac folks, if there's ever been sax like that from the early days of the band, messing around in tracks and different things. But I just thought it was special, and it's something. It goes to show you that subtle changes, subtle additions or subtractions, show that this band, yes, they do a lot of crazy, unique things for as popular as they are, but there's so much room to just surprise us and shock us and awe us. And that saxophone popping in as I'm listening on choppy couch tour audio, but appreciate the couch tour streamers. I'll take anything. I'll take 5% of the quality I got tonight from the streamers, and I still enjoy it. But nonetheless, it just was like, wow, this is special. Any other moments that stick out? I know there's a So Right. There's a Let's Dance, that I was, kind of for the casuals or non-DMB fans there. Crash Into Me. Will any other things stand out to you?
I mean, the So Right stood out to me just because, like, that's another song I didn't think they'd play at a festival. I personally thought them playing Monsters was pretty cool also. I didn't think that they'd bust that one out there also. I definitely think that my group, we were the only ones all around us who knew that song as well. And then that was my first time hearing the Space Between on the baritone guitar. We almost got it at Alpine, but Dave switched it up right before he started to play it. But I guess those were like the other smaller highlights of the show. Definitely the Ants opener, Alligator Pie, and the Lion Our Graves with Trucks was by far the top 3 moments of that show.
Awesome. And then let's go over. I'm gonna just get that poster here. Give me 1 second. What did you think of the poster?
So just kind of talk about Dave Matthews Band Festival posters on a broad scale. A lot of them, they're not going to be that great. I thought the Railbird one was trash. I thought the Pilgrimage one with, like, the stained glass, window poster, that one wasn't great. The ones from Inning Fest this year was okay. Like, I didn't hate that one, but it definitely wasn't my favorite. I loved tonight's poster. Like, the art in the poster tonight was incredible. The colors contrasted together very well. That dark red with that dark yellow with, like, the black and the gray. The bottle of bourbon with batch 41, which is close to Jack Daniel's batch 47. I love this poster. I have absolutely no complaints about this poster at all. It's better than the Gorge Spusta, in my opinion, by far.
Yeah, this to me was solid. We got the picture of you as well here, getting there early. Do you know if it sold out or if there was high demand? I know you were there very early, but I didn't know if you kind of got a grasp on that.
I think it sold out by like 2 or 3 o'clock.
Wow.
And that was all the rest of them that they had there too. They sold 100 of them yesterday because they had at their merch stand every band's merch for all 4 days. So, like, okay. Zach Bryan will be there tomorrow. They had his stuff up. Tyler Childers will be there on Sunday. His stuff was up. So they were selling all bands' merch for all days. But they sold 100 posters yesterday, and then they sold the rest of them today. And they were all gone by the afternoon.
And what was the run by chance?
550, so a very small run for this poster. So the demand for that's even higher.
Yeah, no, that's huge, and so, but I think that's a great thing to see a poster sell out, and I think it's a great thing to have merch every day. Because if I'm a D&B fan and I was there like you yesterday, and I just happen to get there early, I'm gonna pick that thing. If I got one of the 100, I'm gonna pick it up. I don't have to worry about it the next day. Same thing, Zach Bryan. If you're a Zach Bryan fan or you want to get merch, maybe it's your first time seeing him because you live in Kentucky, or you can buy that merch a day early or 2 days early, and then the day of the show for that person you want to see, you can worry about lining up or getting closer.
And one other thing about Zach Bryan, his day at Bourbon and Beyond is tomorrow. For Bourbon and Beyond and every other festival that their manager runs, I don't really remember the group name of festivals, but tomorrow's day at Bourbon and Beyond is expected to be the largest crowd out of any of that festival organizers' groups ever. And I think there was over 100,000 people in the show tonight, so I don't even want to know how big that amount of number of people for Zach Bryan is. So it's good that they sell that merch for all 4 days, because if you're going to every day, might as well pick up your stuff on Thursday.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you for coming on, Connor. And you got any other shows?
We were doing the Hall of Fame in Cleveland, and that's it.
Okay. Well, that's going to be a special night, and safe travels back up to the Midwest. I don't know. Kentucky's Appalachia. I don't know. I'm sure it's Appalachia. It's not the Midwest, right? So
borderline Midwest.
Borderline, yeah.
The South can have them.
All right. Well, safe travels and take care. Thank you again.
Yes, thank you. Have a good night.
All right. And I want to thank Connor for coming on there. And so I thought we were going to be able to listen to this show. Here's what happened. Okay, so I was, I saw I was in, I'm always in just chatting with people, and someone sent me. Let's remove the poster for a second. Somebody sent me a. This is my phone screenshot, but someone's like, "Hey, this thing's on the Friday Night Concert Series." When you go on the SiriusXM app, which is the best way to listen to this stuff, by the way, the car audio, like, I have to pretend to cancel again, and I don't care if I get car audio back. Like, it's convenient, but the car audio is not even close to the streaming quality on your device. Nonetheless, this app allows you to watch previous specials and interviews, things like that. So I go on, see the schedule, and it says 9/20/24 Louisville, Kentucky. And my first reaction when my friend sent me his phone screenshot, I find on my phone this screenshot. I'm like, this is too good to be true. Like, they're showing us a festival, and did the festival approve it? Or maybe obviously you would have to think so. Some festivals don't care as much, especially if it's a radio, if it's a radio live stream. I do think festivals in general, some of them live stream, but I think with the failing sales in festivals, it's not to their benefit to allow for a video stream, because they need that. This festival sold well, but other festivals, I think they want to get people there. They don't want passive viewers. Nonetheless, I'm thinking, okay, it's here, so it's got to be happening. So, okay. So I post, hey, guys, they're going to be broadcasting from Kentucky. I'm like so excited. This is 9 hours ago, right? And so then I had Ari, and I appreciate Ari because I think he saw people posting it like I did, and he's had to say, hey, this isn't happening. There's some sort of error. Now, again, in these situations, it is disappointing. It's frustrating to have that feeling that you're going to get it and you're not. For all we know, this could have been something that at the last minute, the festival's like, well, Sirius, you guys got to pay us a fee, or you guys got to do this, or hey, we don't have a good connection. We got 100,000 people here, and we can't set up all our equipment to get this back to wherever it needs to go. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, this was posted on here. Perhaps, maybe they'll get us a recording in a couple of weeks. I don't know. Again, I really don't know. I'm dead serious. I don't know if they're gonna even broadcast this. I don't think they will, but I think it just was an error. Like someone had copied the Fridays that were upcoming and just put this one down, and it was auto programmed. Even as you went through the evening, this thing was still up. And again, could have been something you can't just, it took time. It's going to take time to remove down, but there was no live stream on Sirius XM Radio. Dave Matthews Band Radio Channel 30. But it is what it is. That's just how it is. Sometimes these things don't work out. Even at MSG, we didn't have a stream, I believe. What was that? I think that was this past Friday. The Friday in 2023, there was no stream. So, again, things change. Things don't work. And we'll see what happens. Rich G says, I wonder if it'll air tomorrow. Most likely, they'll do a simulcast on the various SiriusXM channels, like Riley's Roadhouse, and I think DMB Radio will probably be simulcasting the whole Farm Aid. So you'll be able to hear Farm Aid on SiriusXM Radio. You'll be able to watch it on YouTube. Please consider donating to Farm Aid. I'll go through all that tomorrow, but just it's a cause that I don't really give out to different causes for just certain reasons, because I don't trust where the money goes to everything. I'd rather give someone directly. Nonetheless, I do, when I can, just donate a couple bucks here and there to Farm Aid, because I think it's just such a great cause. So definitely you can watch it on YouTube if you're got soccer games, or you got Saturday with the boys, or you're watching your SEC game or your ACC game. You can turn the audio on and just watch the game there. So there's a couple. It's great that you have that option on SiriusXM and also YouTube. But that will be tomorrow. I will be giving my thoughts based on what I hear. If anyone wants to come on to the post-show stream, maybe, hey, Robin, if you're watching, I think you're going. I would love to just have someone call in, even if it's 5-10 minutes, and give us an analysis from SPAC. I will not be there. And that actually is a great transition into our next kind of conversation with tickets. What's interesting about this SPAC show is people that bought tickets to the show for Farm Aid are now trying to sell them last minute plans. This time of year, you get all sorts of stuff coming around with your kids, with your family, even though the summer is literally ending now. Happy first day of fall that we're turning into now. It's just, it seemed like people were trying to sell their uppers, and even on the website, there were uppers available. And for this festival, the most valuable seats and the hardest seats to get, even in Hartford, it seemed like there were less seats available on kind of last minute, even though there's always seats. You could just have to work out a deal, cash or trade, but it seems like with this SPAC show, with how much demand SPAC has for if Neil Young came by himself, or if Dave and Tim, they did come. I saw him in 17 night one. It's interesting how little demand there is, or not little demand. There's demand, but there's so many seats that you could buy close to the face value. But I think that's a good thing. If someone wants to go last minute, if someone got lawn seats and they're hearing the horror stories, I do think if you have a chance to go last minute, buy a seat, and all the proceeds from Ticketmaster go to the cause of Farm Aid. So if you see a ticket that's $200 in the balcony, that goes to Farm Aid. So it's a great cause. So if you have the money and you want to go last minute, buy it. But there's a lot of availability. You can work out deals with people on various cash or trade and the warehouse boards. And if you want to go last minute, go. I think the cause is such a great thing. And Dave and Tim do a great job. And I think what may also be impacting that is Dave and Tim are going to play for 45 minutes or so. And so you're not getting, you shouldn't just go for Dave and Tim. You should go because you like Neil Young and you like Dave and Tim, or you want to check out a couple other artists, and you want to check out the different farm activities and events throughout the day and evening, because Dave and Tim are going to be on and out before you know it. But it's a beautiful set. They always do. I just love Dave and Tim. I went to a Dave and Tim festival in Sound on Sound a couple of years ago. Now it's Soundside, but I enjoyed it, even though it was even cut shorter by lightning. But I could listen to Dave and Tim no matter what they play all day. And speaking of that, the main thing is today was the on sale, right? So today was the on sale for DMB's fall tour. And so with the on sale, and even before this on sale, you have a lot of anxiety. You have a lot of people anxious to have a ticket, not in hand anymore, but a ticket that's going to come to their account, or that is in their account, or they have a confirmation you purchased this ticket, or you got confirmed by the warehouse, or you got confirmed by the pre-sale. And I'll say this, for the fall tour, take away MSG. We'll get to that in a second. In this modern era of 2018 to present, unless you want a pit ticket, you should not be freaking out or worried about if the warehouse denied you, or you didn't get a Ticketmaster ticket today, or you didn't get a city pre-sale ticket. Everyone has the right to purchase at the amount they want, and you have to really look at it like that. Do you have the money, and are you willing to pay that price? If so, do it. But still, you should really just still wait it out. Even though I'm saying you have freedom, dude, wait it out. I saw someone in the city pre-sale panic buy over face, and they just put it in a form, and everyone has that right. I know people who do that, but they panic brought tickets in the pre-sale over face value, and the on sale had tons of tickets in the upper level left over. I think they bought an upper, it was like Mohegan or something, and there's still tickets, and there'll be tickets the week of Mohegan. You'll be able to find tickets at a low price at Mohegan Sun. Some of these tickets are given to high rollers, and they literally have been known on certain occasions to just give people a ticket. Hey, they like, and it's really cool because these people, high rollers, they got money, but they just want to bless someone with the ticket. They may go there for dinner, right? Or they just want to pass this along to someone else. And it's a great thing that at certain Mohegan shows, you may find someone that does that. And so then they're physical tickets. By the way, the high rollers tickets are physical Mohegan Sun branded tickets. But nonetheless, seriously, it's I understand the frustration. I think the biggest thing is, again, we'll get to MSG. That's where a lot of people are upset. But if you're going to Pittsburgh, if you're going to Louisville, I mean, not Louisville, if you're going to Columbus, right? Or you're going to Mohegan for those 2 weekday shows, weekdays, not weekend, weekday shows, and you don't have a ticket, you're gonna find a ticket. Is it gonna be the Pit? Maybe not. But there were already tickets now being sold on the warehouse boards. I'm sure they'll be popping up on Cash or Trade. The other groups, ticket swap groups, be very careful, be vigilant. Try to check with other group members on sellers. But there are already tickets going for face value, lowers, trades, night 1 for night 2, etc. They're already available on the on sale date. You can work out something. But I would still wait out. I would still hold it out and say, listen, if you don't have a ticket, just wait until the week of the event. Columbus is known great. There's a lot of great D&B fans in Ohio, but there's always tickets that just are these are mostly the scalpers that just can't get, they're getting rid of inventory. It's the end of the year. They've already ripped people off with these Taylor Swift tickets. So a lot of these brokers are looking to meet certain sales goals. So for D&B, if these don't sell the week of, they're going to drop the price. That's how these ticket sites work, right? I used to work at StubHub. These ticket brokers have sales goals, right? And StubHub just is the facilitator, and they try to reward certain sellers for different, and it's a mess now. I won't talk about stuff, but you'll find tickets below face value for every location, and even MSG, you'll find stuff, right? You'll still find stuff. Now let's get to MSG. What's frustrating about MSG is it's, to get any sort of lower level seat, even in the back corners, on an on sale, on the warehouse, it's very hard. And sometimes you just get a night 1 or you get a night 2 and you can't find the other. And most people are shut out for night 2. The reality is, and some people know this, the warehouse isn't specifically trying to not let you go to New York City. It's going to always have high demand. It's just people like I'm just explaining, aren't even putting in for Columbus and Pittsburgh and Mohegan. They're going to find tickets, but they're going to put in for MSG. The only reason I really have a warehouse membership is the possibility of getting tickets to SPAC and MSG, which are 2 of the hardest venues to get a confirmed ticket for it, just to get in the building. I just want to get in to a physical seat at SPAC or Janime. I want to try a chance to get into a physical seat for MSG, right? It's a shot at that. And if I get a lower like I did last year for MSG night 2, that price of face value is I'll take that. Even when I was in the 200 level towards the back, just to be in the venue stress-free is a great thing. But some people, you're not going to listen. You're going to get denied. Wait it out, be patient, and just remember, listen, this band didn't have to have another tour. Like, we're so spoiled. Like, Pearl Jam fans, they just saw shows in Philly and in New York City, and they just were at Fenway. Pearl Jam may never come back to some of those cities, or they may not come back for 6-7 years. And even after that, the band's not getting any younger. We just saw a full summer tour, and these are the same cities and markets that there were nearby summer tour stops from. So as much as, listen, maybe it doesn't work out for you right now financially, it's hard for you to get to a show. Maybe this was your one chance to get to a show because the summer doesn't work, but this time of year is less busy for your job. But I'm telling you, wait it out. Maybe you're not in the pit. It's going to be, guys, it's going to be okay. I know some people, I got to be in the pit every time. I got to be close. Listen, sit in the lowers. Hey, yes, the uppers sometimes can be hit or miss with views, but you can still see the full stage. Honestly, some of these venues, the upper deck gives you a better view, even though it's higher up, than you can see on the lawn where you have poles and you have different things blocking you fully from seeing the show. Especially Mohegan. Mohegan's upper deck is like a mid-level at any other venue. So guys, wait it out. Stop panic buying. Every year, it's predictable. It's so predictable. It's like Dallas Cowboys fans. You know, every year, this is the year, we them boys. And then by the time the playoffs come, you know, they're out in the first round. Oh, I thought this was the year. People, oh man, right? Yes, Dak did not play well in the postseason. That postseason, even when you guys get a bye, he does not play well in the playoffs. Shocker, right? So just please, all I would say is wait it out. Don't panic. Be patient. Y'all patient with your kids, right? These kids be doing crazy stuff. Y'all patient with your kids. Be patient with the ticket buying process, right? What else? I think the other thing is I got some upcoming content on this page, and it's been great to put these things together. So we got the SPAC Night 1 multicam that is now out. We have the 41. You saw a clip of that. You saw about half of it to open up this show. And thank you to everyone. I was not at the Gorge, but I wanted to put together that multicam for 41. SPAC Night 2 is on the way. It's going to probably still take me about 2 or 3 weeks to get that out, but I want to get that out. And then I also have sometime this weekend, stay tuned. I'm hoping to get it out. It's going to be either Saturday or Sunday. But this weekend, we got a treat for you guys. We're going to get the 2-step opener multicam. The 2-step opener multicam. And let me play a little bit for you guys. Give you guys a little sneak preview of this. You may have seen it if you were on, what did I put it on? I put it on the DMB Gorge crew. But let me give you guys a little preview of what I'm working on, and this will be done sometime this weekend. Let me go ahead and transition this over here. All right, and let me take myself off. Here's a little sneak preview of this multicam. But all right, so here we go. All right, so, I just realized it's not in frame fully. That was not in frame. Let me play that again for you guys. We'll just put it here. That was not fully in the frame, but just a little bit of what I'm working on, and most of it will be full shots, but I do like to do the 4 panels here and there. Let's see. Let me just make this a little smaller. All right, here we go. Let's play this again. All right, there you go. There's your sneak preview, but we'll get that out for you guys by the end of the weekend. That's it. See you guys tomorrow. It's your boy Conserviz34. Oh, rest in peace to my boy Frankie Beverly, who passed away last week. I've been listening to just some of the vinyls of Frankie Beverly and Maze the last week or so. Here, man, it's a cool thing to. My dad gave me some of his old vinyls when he went digital about a decade ago, and so I've been able to listen to his music, Frankie Beverly and Maze, and just so much different R&B, soul, funk, jazz that my dad had. I didn't even know he listened to this stuff. By the time I was born, he wasn't listening to all this smooth R&B from back in the day. But R.I.P. to Frankie Beverly, man. He's just a special talent to the musical world. Philly, a product of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, who unfortunately passed away, but lived such a great life. All right, we're going to close this out. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.
Driving along this highway, all these cars end up on the sidewalk. When all it's all hands of mercy, red and black and tin waiting. We all do it the same. We all do it the same way. Cameraman was jumping out of a tree to the torso by way of lost. Program across in the corners, loose and cut on the fence, got out to a fan. Cut, sing these songs. Place them in the box until a quieter time. Lights down, you up and down. Bye.